Hi, career seekers and career professionals. I'm Renee, the career coach, and as a recruiter, I have viewed countless applications and talked to thousands of candidates. And there are specific things that successful candidates do that leave me impressed, but also leave the hiring manager wanting to hire them. In this video, I am sharing all of those things with you so that the next job that you apply to, you can be a standout candidate from the first glance of your resume to getting a job offer. And make sure to stick around for number 10 because it is something that, if implemented, could be the determining factor in you getting hired or not. So stick around. The first thing that all successful candidates do is they know their value and they know the skills that they bring to the table. When a successful candidate sees a job posting, they don't just look at it as a job that needs to be filled, but rather they see it as a need that needs to be filled. They realize how their skills and their experiences can help fill a business objective. And most importantly, they can speak to this. Hiring managers want to know how a specific candidate can come in and make an impact. And if you as a candidate, you're able to speak to the business need and how you would be able to fulfill that need, then you're doing better than half the candidates out there. The second thing that all successful candidates do is their research. Before a candidate goes in for their interview, they know exactly how to speak to certain points. They have researched the company, the pay, and the job description itself. I can tell you as a recruiter, it truly shows when a candidate has done their research because they're able to speak to certain points of the job description or the company culture. They even give a very specific and detailed number when it comes to their compensation and what they're looking for. So in all areas, when a candidate has done their research, they stand out far above the other applicants. Number 3, all successful candidates are consistent throughout the whole process. Some applicants can have a very impressive first interview, but by the time they get around to the second or even third interview, they've kind of lost their steam. As you're going through the interview process, make sure that you're mindful of what the interviewers are saying and taking notes. That way you're able to stay consistent throughout the whole process, continue to stay engaged, and continue to ask thriving questions. Now also, make sure that you are consistent in your answers. For example, make sure you're consistent in your compensation expectations. Why did you leave your last job? Why are you interested in this company? I've talked to certain candidates and they'll tell me one thing of why they're looking to leave their current organization. And then in the second interview, talking to the hiring manager, they'll tell a different story. And honestly, this just raises a red flag for us as the interviewers. We wonder, why is their story not consistent? Also, with the compensation, if they're talking to me in that first interview saying that they want, $50,000 and then they come around in the next interview asking for $70,000, that's a big jump. And we start to wonder, why are you not consistent throughout all of your answers? Number 4, they customize everything. When applying for jobs, successful candidates will customize and tailor their cover letter, their resume, and their specific interview answers. Unfortunately, most job seekers will do the opposite of this. They will use a basic standard template for their cover letter. They will use the same exact resume to apply for multiple jobs, and they will prepare vague and generalized answers to the interview questions. On the other hand, very successful candidates will use the cover letter to tell their specific story and how they can make an impact with this company. They will also use their resume and tailor it to each job that they're applying for, pointing out their specific accomplishments and skills that align with what the company is looking for. And of course, they will tailor their interview answers and make sure that they're customizable to what the company need is so that they can speak to that need. Number 5, all successful candidates are responsive. Outstanding applicants make sure to follow up to every phone call and to every email that is sent throughout the entire hiring process. And they make sure to do so in a timely manner. I have talked with very impressive candidates who at some point in the hiring process will go silent for like a week. And I'll be sitting there wondering, where are they? Only to come to find out that they've gone on vacation or gone out of town for one reason or the other. Just make sure that if you find yourself in that type of situation, you are responsive and communicating with your recruiter, letting them know, hey, I'm going to be out on vacation these couple of days. And that way they're in the loop and know what's going on. Doing this is not only responsible, but again, it will also help you stand out and build that connection with your recruiter. Number 6, all successful candidates make a lasting impression. They all follow these very simple strategies to leaving a very good impression. They're polite, they're on time, they have a strong handshake, they're positive, they smile, they maintain eye contact, they listen, they're encouraging, they're enthusiastic about the job. All of these things leave a lasting impression for the recruiter, for the interviewer, and ultimately, people would rather hire somebody that has very good soft skills, is very personable and well-liked, but maybe doesn't have as many technical skills, rather than hiring somebody that has a ton of technical skills, but comes off as arrogant and is not well-liked by other people. You can always teach technical skills to somebody, but you can't always teach somebody how to be a good human being. Make sure to keep this in mind when you're going through an interview process to leave a good, lasting impression. Number 7, they ask meaningful questions. Now, I will say going into an interview, it is better to have basic, generic questions to ask rather than not asking any questions at all. But if you want to take it that step further and really be impressive, make sure that you are coming with very thought-provoking questions. Having good, thought-out questions creates that type of conversation that you want in an interview. And again, will leave a lasting impression with the interviewer. If you want to know what types of questions you can ask in your next interview, make sure to check out my video, which is linked down below. And I go over all the different types of questions that you can ask in your next interview. Number 8. All successful candidates exude enthusiasm. They're excited about the opportunity. They're excited about this company and to speak with the interviewer, and it shows. They talk about why this company has been on their radar for such a long time. They talk about how they love doing this specific type of work and how they would love doing it in this company. Whether in a phone interview or in an in-person interview, showing enthusiasm really takes it that step further, and it shows confidence as well in your interview, which is something that will set you apart from the other interviewers. Number 9, successful candidates send thank you notes. You would be surprised at how far a little thank you note can go in the interview process. I have actually had hiring managers have 2 very good candidates, and they were wondering which candidate they should hire, and believe it or not, it came down to who sent the thank you note. And the candidate who sent the thank you note got offered the job. Make sure you're always taking this little step to thank the interviewers and express your appreciation. A well-crafted thank you note also gives you the opportunity to throw in a little extra highlights on your skills and why you're excited about this position. And finally, number 10, all successful candidates are well connected. Candidates who keep their ear to the ground with former colleagues, relatives, family members, friends, mentors, business professionals, professors, the list goes on. Having a relationship with people allows you to hear about opportunities sometimes before they're even posted on a job board. I've seen hiring managers be set on a specific candidate before the job is even posted. That means that as soon as the job is posted, this candidate is already 10 steps ahead of all the other candidates who haven't even applied to this position yet. They could be halfway to an offer before somebody applies. Keeping your connections close and having a strong network could be the difference between getting hired or not. So make sure that you keep your ear to the ground. Talk with different people in your network. And doing this is going to set you apart from other applicants, other candidates, and ultimately leave you as a strong candidate. As you apply for your next job and go through the interview process, make sure to implement these 10 things and you are for sure to be a standout candidate and hopefully land the job. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a video because I'm posting every week. Thank you so much for being here and I will see you in my next video.